glad we became friends. Fuck! Did I get the friend route?
We're born in the moonlight. Ain't no fantasy. Can't breathe in the sunlight.
Hello, Aromas. This is Aromie here, and welcome back to Changeling. Where here I am finally back in my body, controlling it completely. And we're here with Corvin, crying and telling him that it's my fault and that I should be sorry. She didn't say it was her fault, but I'm assuming she's gonna say that next. Glad to be back in my room, back in my house. Mostly, I was glad I can finally apologize to Corvin. I gave him a sad smile. I feel like I just bring you trouble. That's not true. It's not you at all. It's just, this is what it means to be a Beltran, I guess. Corvin hugged me tightly. I'm so glad you're back. I missed you. Yeah, we did too. So can you stop monopolizing her? We looked up to see Allie and Spencer crowding the doorway. Look how cute Spencer is. Spencer's honestly so cute. They both spilled into my room and piled on the bed with us. Sorry. Corvin released me and I was immediately swept into a bear hug from behind. Spencer? Spencer's giving me a hug? Oh, brother. He squeezed me tightly and buried his face on my shoulder. Sorry, I'm so sorry for everything. Spencer, you're crushing me. Spencer in this row is honestly the best. Spencer. Not that I wasn't pleased, tears were stinging in my eyes too. It had been so long, or so long since he'd acted like he cared. I leaned my head against his and closed my eyes as he eased his grip on me just enough so I could breathe. Spencer, I know you're happy she's okay, but please don't suffocate me, Chica, when she's just gotten back. He finally released me and I twisted around to look at him. He looked so tired. I wish I had known about all of this a long time ago. I was so horrible, and I rolled my eyes and smacked him on the forehead. It's over with now. There's no use in moping about it. I gave him a teasing grin. You have a lot of time to make up for it, and as I recall, I didn't get a birthday gift, so that's a good place to start. He gave me a hesitant smile and reached to ruffle my hair. Hey, hello? Remember me, your friend? Do I get a hug? I grinned at her and embraced her tightly. Of course you do. She squeezed just as tight. I'm so glad you're back. We were all worried about you. Danny, Elliot, they've been checking on you every day. William has been actually texting me for a change to ask about you. Mark was kind of worried-ish. That's Mark. That's very Mark of him. Brenna asked about you too, though she was kind of mad you ended up not drinking that potion she gave you. Violet's had been completely beside himself. I don't think I've ever seen him so emotional, actually. Merle was really worried. Okay, but what about Ewan? Oh my god, did Ewan not care about me? Bitch. Oh dear, I'm going to have to apologize to everyone for worrying them. Violet's has been saving up a lecture for you. Oh, goody. Spencer got a special one for getting involved? I don't even know. Violet's apparently yelled at him a lot, though. Well, hey wait, Spencer? No one tried to erase your memories? Violet considered it, then he reconsidered it very quickly. Spencer basically threw a fit worthy of you, and Violet decided since he's basically become a sensitive in his own right, he could leave his memories intact. And sensitive? Like a psychic? Like William, but less developed. He's been sneaking to the shop so often I talk to Merle about you and get advice that Merle's practically considering hiring him. Wait, Spencer gets to be as sensitive, but I have to go back to being normal? How's that fair? Well, not quite. You're not quite a normal human anymore, not after spending years in fairy being bombarded with fairy magic. That's right, I remember that now. But what am I now if I'm not a normal human? A fae-ish human? A humanish fae? Helpful. Thanks. I gave Corvin a sheepish look. So that means I can still come to the shop to... What? So that means I can still come to the shop too, to visit and get coffee. I swear I've never been able to finish a single cup from there. I'd only heard it faintly, but he said he was quitting school. I felt sad about it, but I couldn't understand why he was doing it. Corvin just laughed and hugged me gently again. Yeah, you're always welcome there anytime. Good, because I really want to see you in one of those little aprons so I could tease you. Yeah, because you don't tease me enough anyway, right? Definitely not. What happened to Kara? Or Ewan, because Ewan did not care? He was there that night. He had to care. She's alright. I returned the dream to her. We played everything off like she fell and got a concussion. There was some memory rearranging that happened there, so she'll be okay. Yeah. I hate that I had to return something that brought her so much pain, but that's my job. Yeah. My stomach growled loudly. Maybe we should go downstairs and get you something to eat. I'd appreciate it. She grinned and pulled Spencer out of the room. I stood and stretched. My body felt weird, stiff, strange. When Corvin started after the others, I caught the hem of his jacket. Corvin, I heard what you said about quitting school. I'm not trying to stop you, but I want you to know that even after seeing it firsthand, I think that what you do is good. And it doesn't change what I think about you at all. I know that. And I'm glad I met you. I'm glad we became friends. Fuck! Did I get the friend route? So am I. And I really will visit the cafe, even if you leave school. I look forward to it. Michiko, I thought you were hungry. We're coming down. And that was how that little adventure ended. Oh my god, I got friend-zoned. Or I friend-zoned him more correctly. It wasn't the start of a new phase in life, and really, it didn't feel like the end of one either. Things carried on much the same way they had. Corvin did leave school though, but I saw him pretty regularly, and he and Spencer formed a really weird friendship. Maybe it was just me, but it seemed like he was happier working full-time at the murder. It was sad that he left school, but... Ooh! This is cute CG art. I knew it was finally back where it belonged, and maybe that's where he belonged. No, I got cucked though. Oh my god, I'm so bad with like these boys. Oh Jesus, don't give me that. Don't give me that bullshit. I want the wow. Look at all the CG art I missed. Your girl chose wrongly. So obviously, I'm not fusing this episode together with the next one because your girl is gonna pull up the guide and figure out which choices was actually the correct choice. So I'll be right back. All right, so I have the guide up. And Corvin's route is just like Mark, where there is either one butterfly or two butterflies are obviously the bad choice. And I already fucked up in the very beginning. And I was supposed to look anyway about the whole staircase situation. I think this is what it's about. I knew I was probably going to regret this, but I had to look. Conscious score or not, one of the voices definitely sounded like Corvin. I could have sworn I decided to go with this one, but maybe I like backtracked and said no. And he had run off so suddenly earlier. So who exactly was he meeting under the stairs? Then again, it's probably not my business. But as someone who was new to all this, I was curious. For all I knew, he was mixing up a magic brew in a cauldron or something. I dropped my backpack near the foot of the steps and crept forward. The voices were too muffled for me to make out what they were saying, but there were definitely at least two people. I wrinkled my nose as it appeared around the corner. Okay, so I haven't gone through this entire thing. It was quite dark, no cauldrons or magic brews to be found. In fact, from what I could see, the space was mostly used to store cleaning supplies and boxes. At the very back in the shadows, I spotted a familiar head of white blonde hair, but I could now tell the other voice I was hearing was feminine. Oh, good grief. That's what I've been hearing? Gross. Meet up with someone indeed. I heard muffled groans and instantly regretted checking out the voices. Ew! I knew Corvin was a flirt, but ew, there are places for that kind of thing. Under the stairs at the school was not one of them. At the very least, he should have some respect for the girl and take her somewhere that wasn't all spidery. Well, whatever. I was kind of disappointed I hadn't found a spooky cauldron, but now that I knew it was nothing interesting, I was going to leave and pretend I didn't see a thing. I didn't get far, though. The girl raised her voice, blubbering something incoherent. She didn't just sound upset, she sounded panicked, even scared. I couldn't make out any words, but whatever was happening didn't sound okay. While I was deliberating if maybe I should just go get a teacher to handle this, or the girl let out a yelp that sounded distinctively one of pain. There's a scuffling of feet. Then what sounded like a struggle. Something heavy fell over. I mean, a struggle might not sound much different than a tryst, but whatever was happening back there, it didn't sound like they were having fun. I carefully peeked around the corner just in case. A stack of boxes in the back tipped over and scattered. It was pretty dark, but I could see. Wait, was he pinning her down? Okay, so I don't think that. Okay, so I chose some of these correctly. Thank God. But that was the first choice I didn't choose correctly. Follow the cat on your own? So I was supposed to follow the cat on my own anyway. Okay. Instead of go tell someone and let them deal with it, you have to choose follow the cat on your own. Which I did on the second choice. Because I was going to do forget and go to the library instead, which is infinite bad answer. But we're supposed to follow the cat on our own. And this is where we're supposed to unlock that CG art that I didn't get. The creature was watching me without moving. A shadowy tail flicked back and forth, leaving a trail of smoke with each swish. It didn't move, but something came flying straight at me. It was a burst of, I don't know, air or energy or something. Whatever it was, it nearly knocked me off my feet. I staggered back, gripping a nearby desk that nearly toppled under my weight. My cheek was stinging, and when I reached up, I felt something wet. This is bad. This is so very bad. I didn't know how to handle ghost animal things. Playing dead seemed both dumb and unlikely to be of help. Avoiding eye contact so as not to appear aggressive would have been great if it actually had eyes. As it was, I was just trying to okay, I don't understand. Try to edge away very, very slowly. Its legs bunched beneath it, and this time I made sure I was ready to dodge toward the door. Before either of us could move, there was a flash of light from the hallway. The creature froze in place, pinned to the spot by an unseen force. From outside the door came soft chanting. Not just chanting, I realized. And it sounded almost like a song. My legs wobbled as a familiar figure stepped around the edge of the frame. Corvin! Oh, this is so pretty! Oh, I should have kept continuing on with the trying to catch the cats. Because then I wouldn't have had to, I would have seen the CGI. He had a grimoire in hand, but it wasn't the same one from before, not the creepy black one. Light swirled around him as he spoke, saying he looked beautiful, though that might have just been because I was so relieved to see him. That is beautiful! The light seemed to take on a bird-like shape that spiraled out of Corvin's grimoire and toward the cat creature. It was amazing. Of course, I'd known Corvin was a wizard. I'd even sort of seen him use magic. But this was totally different. For a split second, I completely forgot what was happening and just stared at him in awe. And again, it hit me how strange and utterly surreal my life had become. The cat thing let out a screech that brought me back into reality. I'm saved. I pulled myself away, putting more distance between me and whatever was going on over by the door. The creature was completely powerless against Corvin's magic. One of those strange bursts of air shot toward Corvin. His scarf and coat bellowed out with the force of it, but he didn't flinch. As I watched, the creature began to shrink. The deep snarls turned into his soft little mews. And suddenly it all faded. The light died out, the singing stopped, and the slinky ghost cat was back. It had curled up and seemingly gone to sleep. I sat staring, spots swimming before my eyes as my mind tried to catch up with everything that just had happened. I squeezed my eyes shut, covering them with one hand. Now that the danger was gone, shame creeped in. I was so utterly useless. Why did it feel like all I could do was get into trouble, then cower in the background while someone else took care of the problem? Michiko, it's okay, you can open your eyes. I let out a long, shuddering sigh, most of frustration than fear, but Corvin wrapped his arms around me and held me tightly. I tensed at first, then relaxed and leaned against him. It's okay, it's over. What just happened? My voice was muffled against his scarf. I looked over his shoulder at the little black thing. It was still curled up and looked for all the world like an odd little kitten sleeping peacefully. It's sleeping for now. I pulled away from him and peered more closely at the creature. What is that? It's a secret. I gave him a scathing look. A secret? Really? I let out a huff of annoyance. After all, he wasn't even going to tell me what it was. Fine. I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but it was so frustrating. Corvin laughed quietly and gave me a gentle squeeze before he pulled away again and smiled at me. No, it's actually a secret that used to belong to someone. Sometimes they get lost and a bit confused. Don't worry, this little guy was just looking for its owner. I'll take care of it. Wait, like a real secret? That thing? That's right. So this is where Corvin actually tells us what a secret is instead of Bilos. I don't think I've ever seen a secret, much less one that looked like that. When things like this get separated from their owners, they fall into a class of beings called Aromie. This one just absorbed some bad energy and gained a more solid form. It's not uncommon. He gave me an appraising look. I'm surprised you could see it. Not everyone can. That's pretty unusual. Well, I couldn't see it completely clearly before. It looked like a blurry cat-shaped shadow. Fortunately, secrets this small aren't usually that bad. I'm just glad I got it before Samhain. The magic overflow can stir up stagnant pools of miasma, and these guys like to get caught in that. I have no idea what any of that means, but okay. The Corvin scooped up the little kitten's secret and tucked it gently in the crook of his arm. I was still shaky, but it was starting to calm down a little. What's the big deal with Samhain anyway? Magic overflow? I got unsteadily to my feet, still feeling like my legs might give way. Well, yeah, the magic overflow is the main culprit for everything that happens. That Earth's energy shifts, and that will. Gates that are normally closed open up. There's more energy in the air for ghosts to use, to manifest. A lot more paranormal activity that usually goes on. And stagnant pools of miasma get stirred up. Yeah, Allie mentioned some of that. The main thing is that it's dangerous for humans, for weaker spirits, even for people like you. People like me, huh? Well, that's good to know. I realized he was standing a bit strangely and narrowed my eyes. Why are you holding your shoulder like that? Did that thing hurt you when it attacked? Come to think of it, he also looked a little pale. No, I'm not hurt. Using magic can actually be a bit physically exhausting, that's all. He lowered his shoulder, rolling it carefully as it grinned at me. I'm fine, see? You're the one with the cut on your face. You needed to have that treated, by the way. I wasn't sure if I believed that excuse. Exhaustion didn't make you hold your shoulder like it was injured. But short of ripping his clothes off and checking him over, and there wasn't much I could do. And I was pretty sure our relationship hadn't progressed to the point where my ripping his clothes off for any reason was appropriate. Not that that I had entertained the idea of in any fashion. Abort that mental image right now. Are you sure you'll be alright? I will. I've done this before, but it looks like I'll have to postpone our study date for this afternoon. Hey, if you want, why don't you come to my family's cafe next week instead? Maybe Monday or Tuesday? I wasn't sure how we'd gone from getting attacked to planning a date. Oh, will that be okay? Sure, I'll treat you. I owe you for helping me find this guy. He's one of several that have been lurking around, but I'd never quite been able to catch sight of him. You helped me catch him before something really bad could happen. Well, it's not like that was intentional. I wasn't sure what Corvin's definition of really bad was, but the fact that we'd both gotten hurt was probably bad enough. But at least the problem seemed to be solved for now. I started for the door, setting a hand on his shoulder as I passed. I still didn't believe him about it being fine. Come on. I can't believe it got you in the face. I'm really sorry I didn't get here sooner. It's not a big deal. I had made way worse injuries than this. I'll slap a bandage on it and it'll be fine. No, you need to have Vilos take a look at it. Vilos? Why? He's a wizard too, you know. He knows some good healing spells. He'll be able to remove any traces of miasma that might be lingering. Besides, you're too pretty to let something like that turn into a scar. Yeah, ignoring that remark. Miasma again, and my cut this time. What even is that? Miasma or whatever. Negative energy. It tends to gather any place where there are a lot of humans. Wounds inflicted by creatures infected with it can be pretty nasty, even if they seem small. Gotcha. Go see Vilos right away, okay? Like, my nose is so itchy. He'll take care of your late pass after he patches you up. What about you? Well, I need to take care of this guy. I'll check in with Vilos later. Okay. And Michiko, no more following strange creatures or voices. Fine. I didn't learn the first time with the goblin thing. I was curious, okay? I couldn't help that, though I wasn't going to argue that it had been dumb. Even cute, harmless-looking creatures could be dangerous. Duly noted. Not that I minded getting to be your knight in shining armor. You're always my knight, no matter what. I don't see any armor. Use your imagination. Come on. All the imagination in the world isn't going to get me to see you in shining armor. He let out a mock gasp of horror. Such disdain for your rescuer. So ungrateful. Is it possible this thing should die while she hath such meat food to feed it as Signor Beltran? Is that Shakespeare? So romantic. That was not a romantic quote at all. Though I wasn't entirely displeased to recognize that. I'd love to stay and trade a few actual romantic quotes with you, but maybe another time. Wow, this is cute! He gave me a cheeky grin and waved as he trotted off towards the stairs. I rolled my eyes at him and headed to the library like I promised. Oh damn, this is a lot of dialogue that I completely forgot about. Vilos was, as usual, standing behind his desk reading. I wasn't sure if he ever actually did work, like organizing books, or if he just stayed there reading. I was starting to doubt he ever actually left this place. Oh god. What if there are two of him? Now that was definitely a terrifying thought. Vilos, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Then don't. God damn, don't gotta be so rude, handsome guy. But I'm bleeding. Vilos looked up from his work inside. What happened? Well, there was a secret and something about miasma and I got hurt. The end. Vilos raised an eyebrow and notably did not smile. He was a very, very serious man. I didn't think he actually meant to be rude. I was under the impression he just wasn't used to dealing with people. And he never seemed to find my jokes funny. I see. Corvin sent me to you. Come, let me have a look at it. Sorry, I didn't finish reading the sentence apparently. He led me to one of the nearby tables and made me sit. I still wasn't quite used to the whole waving your hands around and magic stuff happens thing yet, but he basically waved a hand in my face and I felt a sharp tingling sensation in the cut. I guess it was the wizard equivalent of putting an antiseptic on me. There's no miasma infection. You should stay in the club room for about 20 more minutes to give the cut time to heal. You don't want anyone else to see it since it'll be gone shortly, and that would raise questions. Got it. I'm not entirely sure what happened, but you're very fortunate. Injuries caused by creatures hit with miasma can cause several infections that lead to soul necrosis, and eventually a painful death. Even small injuries can be life-threatening when dealing with the paranormal. Please be careful in the future. Well, that bad? Corvin hadn't made it sound that serious. What's soul necrosis? Yes, I'll be careful. especially this time of year. Yes, I haven't told that multiple times. I'll be careful. Incidentally, have your studies yielded any useful information yet? Not yet, unfortunately. Corvin was going to help me this afternoon. I suspect then that he had to cancel so he could properly deal with the creature that attacked you. Yeah, he left with it. Then he'll likely spend the afternoon trying to return it. That is, after all, his duty. Duty? Violet gave me a long look before he stood and started walking away. Remember to wait before returning to class. I sighed. More tidbits of information with no real explanation. I wonder if they just didn't trust me enough to tell me some of this stuff. I returned to the clubroom both frustrated and relieved. I was going to have to explain to Mom or Spencer, where the huge gash on my face came from, which was good. But this whole beware that it is a merch thing people had going on regarding Halloween or Samhain, which seemed to be the more specific problem, was getting old. I flopped on the sofa ready for October to be over. Surely November would have to be better than this. I hoped anyway. It's kind of funny because I am in November. Okay. I don't think I chose this one correctly. We're supposed to go get some punch first, which... Why? But okay. Right, okay. I squeezed past him and headed to the kitchen. Loser. Hey! Be careful tonight. Oh, what the fuck? Hi, Spencer. Hi, nice brother, all of a sudden. I didn't know what he meant by that. Then again, when did I ever know what he meant by anything? Even so, that was a weird thing to say. I couldn't help but wonder just how much he managed to figure out already. I think I'll be fine. I didn't know what else to say. Spencer turned away from me as the doorbell rang again. I left him in the foyer. So, was that Corvin's voice I heard earlier? Don't start. But yes, he and another friend stopped by to say hello. She was just giving me a knowing smile and I was doing my best to ignore her. It's not like that. We're just friends. Friends. That's all. Because that's what happened. I got friend zoned. More like I friend zoned him, technically. Stop looking at me like that. He's nice. He is nice. And I'm not saying I like him. I am just acknowledging his niceness. That is all. I sipped a cup of punch and started out into the backyard, almost immediately losing myself in my thoughts. He's cute. Oh my god. Mom, again with that? What, he is? You don't think so? It's not that I don't think so. I mean, he is pretty. I stopped and glared at her. He is pretty, like a princess. And now I'm going upstairs. I grabbed a pumpkin cookie off the table and punch in hand. I left the kitchen immediately. I think you two look good together. I went straight up to my room quickly. Damn, Mom. Out here doing this to me. Stand your ground and fight? Shit, I didn't do that for sure. I didn't know where I was or how far I was from my house this time, but I stumbled back to the direction I thought I'd come from, trying to fight them off. Give it back! Liar, you promised! The voices were shrieking and they were so thick around me that their light dazzled my eyes, blotting out everything else. Over and over they screamed one word that I realized must be a name. Ryul. Leave me alone! My voice was hoarse, ragged, and choked with tears. Why? Why is this happening? I couldn't shake them off or frighten them away. I swatted wildly at the air, my hand making contact with one of the sprites, sending it plummeting to the ground. Unable to run, I decided I had to stand my ground and fight them off. Knocking one of them from the air gave me courage. There were a lot of them, but they were tiny, and they didn't seem to be doing much more than scratching and pulling my hair. I could fight back. Get away from me! I picked a fallen branch off the ground and swept it through the air, sending a shower of wet leaves everywhere. It made contact with several of the fairies. They scattered, giving me a few minutes to reprieve. Suddenly I heard the jarring sound of a crow ahead. Desperate, I looked up and saw a familiar white crow in a nearby tree and was almost shining in the dark. Corvin! I didn't know why I saw the crow and immediately thought of him. I staggered toward it as it swooped down to me, letting out another harsh call. The fairies scattered. I took the opportunity to run, limping through the trees and scraggly underbrush. Above me came the flapping of wings as the crow kept pace through the branches. The fairies weren't scared off for long. They were back in a few minutes, their tiny voices ringing in my head. One sprite flew close to my face, clawing in my eyes. I swatted away, but the bright light blinded me temporarily. Spots swimming before my eyes, I fell forward, only just managing to catch myself. Something sharp cut deep into one hand, and I sobbed, clutching it to my stomach as I tried to beat the fairies off with my other arm. Michiko? Michiko! Can you come help me now? Because the girl's injured at this point. Someone's there. Here, I'm here! I cried out weakly, unsure who was looking for me. I tried to get to my feet, but dozens of tiny hands yanked back. Thief! Fuck you, I'm not a thief, alright? I don't mind if he stays. You shouldn't make assumptions about who you'll tell, not until you know what you'll learn. Sorry it took so long. What? So Kaya can be here, but I can't? I thought she could help me with this one, given her area of expertise. You're Michiko's friend, not just a member of the murder. You should understand very well the needs to keep secrets, even for people you consider friends. I glanced at Corvin, who shifted uncomfortably. Mara gave him a teasing grin. Besides, I'm sure the others still will want to see you too, since you didn't even bother to call us to let us know you're staying out all night. Corvin flinched at that and cast a worried look toward the kitchen. I, in particular, was rather put out. I wasn't sure, but I thought Corvin might have paled slightly. I'll just stop by the kitchen, maybe get us something to drink. That might be a good plan. Corvin left very, very quickly. I guess even he was bullied by his family sometimes. It made me kind of want to go with him to watch. I hope you don't mind asking Kea here. The murderer usually works as a group, and Kea works with us as well sometimes. Bruh, I was supposed to hold the door? Why? So the monster could come get me, but okay, I'll hold the door. I slammed my foot across the door and pushed it back, holding it shut as best as I could, and I kept one eye on the creature as it oozed its way out of the bathroom stall. It looked bigger, and its body was sickeningly floppy, as if it had no bones or muscle tone. I shuddered. Okay, it's not that scary looking at this point. Some kind of black liquid dripped off it, leaving stains on the tile. Is that miasma? More importantly, I didn't know what to do next. Corvin could sense the presence of nearby eyes. Surely he'd find his way here soon. But here I was, relying on him to save me. Again. Michiko, I know you're in there. Shoot, it's Kara. She shoved it hard against the door, but I threw myself against it, keeping it firmly shut. Go away! The creature turned its head, staring at me with pale eyes. I shuddered. Maybe I should just run. But no, if I left it, it would probably follow, and then Kara would be in danger too. Heck, it was probably here because she'd been in the music room nearby, and I was just getting in the way of things again. Michiko! Michiko? Ooh, it's saying my name! It gurgled my name slowly and hesitantly. I didn't think its mouth was made for speaking, and that was creepy as hell. I held my arm out in front of me as Kara shoved against the door, shouting my name again. Shut up! As I spoke, I swept my arm through the air in the way Ali had showed me. A blast of energy shot from my fingertips, striking the creature and throwing it back against the far wall. I stood there, stunned. Shut up really shouldn't have been an effective incantation. I stared at the creature where it lay in a crumpled heap. Ali didn't teach me how to do something like that. But if I could do it again, then I hope Corvin comes soon. I wanted to kick myself for thinking that, but this was his forte after all. It sounded like Kara had given up, so I edged away from the door. If the creature tried to move again, I'd just knock it back down. And in the meantime, I wanted to make sure Corvin could get in. Please hurry. The rat got to its feet and shook its head. I looked my way and took a few slow steps toward me. I edged to the side, readying myself to try another barrier. Suddenly, a door flew open and Corvin was there, just as I expected. I heard the high-pitched call of a crow. Something white and dripping light darted into the bathroom, diving at the Orion, driving it back. Had to be Finn. Thank God! Took you long enough? My legs gave out and I slid down the wall. Corvin already had his white grimoire out and was chanting softly. The eye skittered backwards under Finn's soul, shrieking pitifully as it tried to fend the bird off. More black goop dripped off, leaving inky smears and puddles on the floor. Little snakes of the liquid wriggled across the floor toward Corvin. He never took his eyes off the creature. What's happening? He was eerily beautiful when he was like this. I realized that he had several new injuries, including a fresh scratch down on one cheek, and that dark stain spreading up from his neck and over his face. The door suddenly slammed inward. I stared and shrugged as Kara stood there, glaring in at us. Corvin was startled out of his reverie, his mouth forming a little O as he gaped at her. Kara did the only logical thing there is to do when confronted with a couple of classmates battling a monster in the bathroom. She screamed bloody murder and pointed like a lunatic. What is that thing? I tackled her to the floor, clapping a hand over her mouth. Get down! Corvin, watch out! Corvin managed to barely dodge, flinging himself against the sink as the thing barreled toward me and Kara. Oh, I'm using barrier again. The rat slid backwards again, letting out a long, low growl. It seemed to think better of the fight and scrambled through the wall, vanishing. The only thing it left behind was a black stain. Corvin picked himself up with a groan. Damn it! What was that? What's going on? Well, that's... She glared at me. And what are the two of you doing together? Wait, what? Corvin pointed 2 fingers at her, a worried look on his face. Hypnos. Kara suddenly slumped forward. I caught her and leaned her back against the wall, glancing back at him. He joined us wearily and crouched next to her, frowning. Is she okay? She's just sleeping. He flopped down, leaning his head against the wall. I set up a barrier outside to repel her and keep others away. I guess she got back through because our ride is hers. He grimaced as he sat back up. What happened exactly? And where did you learn to do a barrier like that? Ali gave me a crash course yesterday. As for what happened, Kara was in the music room playing and I had stopped to listen. Then I came in here so she wouldn't see me. And that thing was here, or it showed up here anyway. Corvin, why is it following me? I don't know. I don't know why it's following you. Usually where I go after their hosts and try to possess them once they're strong enough. That's why I tried to get close to Kara so I could catch it before it got to her. Oh, well, you're leading wrong impressions on Kara because she thinks you like her now. For it to target another person like this, I have to assume you have some strong connection to this particular dream. Well, if this dream really is to do with her dream of being a concert pianist, she definitely blames me for screwing that up. Maybe that's why. Maybe that's it. It took to following you right after you got here, so its connection to you is definitely strong. It had been following me since then. So that night I had seen Finn outside my house. The night I dreamed about Corvin. That had probably been Kara's dream that chased me. Why wouldn't you warn me about this, Corvin? I did try to warn you a few times. Like that night I dreamed about you, and then you showed up at my house the next day. That wasn't a normal dream at all, was it? I was worried about you. You said you'd been having weird dreams, and you warned me to wake up because you knew that thing was there. I know. I'm sorry. I didn't know how to tell you that you were being stalked by something. I didn't want to scare you even more. Well, good job. I'm totally not scared. I totally wasn't scared to see it show up at my house. I'm sorry. And why hasn't it managed to escape twice now? You obviously don't always have this much trouble dealing with them. I just don't want it to hurt it. I don't want to hurt it if it belongs to a friend. So you've been going easy on it despite knowing it's stalking me and could possess Kara. He looked miserable. I was so mad and worried. I didn't even know how to respond. He puts himself in danger because he was trying to be nice to a sullied piece of someone's soul, and he put Kara in danger and me in danger. This is what Merle had been talking about. I have never wanted to strangle you more than I do right this minute. I will definitely purify it. And what does purifying it even mean? I suddenly realized something. Is that what that black mark is? Are you somehow sucking in the miasma from that thing? The look on his face told me all he needed to know about that. That's how you purify them? Like Grimoire is what absorbs the miasma. Then why do you have that thing on your face? Corvin immediately covered his cheek and turned away from me. I grabbed him by the chin and forced him to look at me. Don't you dare try to hide it. This isn't the first time I've noticed it. Tell me the truth. It's better than destroying them. Sacrificing yourself is better than destroying them? You don't understand. You can't understand this. This is where we argue, right? Then just tell me. Tell me so I can understand. It was probably a good thing he had some kind of barrier up because I was shouting by this point. Why do you keep hiding things from me? I released him suddenly, biting my lip hard. Chico, it's not just me. Your brothers worry about you too. Yeah, your brothers. Brothers, multiple. That's plural. I haven't seen the rest of them, but it's okay. I'm sure everyone else does as well. I felt his hand on my shoulder, but I shrugged away from him, grabbing my bag. I'm so mad at you right now, I could scream. I'm sorry. And I'm mad at myself, for not paying more attention. I'm leaving. I needed some time to cool off before I start hitting you. I fled the bathroom upset at everything. Well, holy fuck, dude. I surely did not get it. There's no more choices after this. Because, so this is all new content? Everything after this is new content. Because there's no more choices for me to pick. I gripped him by the jaw and forced him to look at me. I don't want anything to happen to you. Don't you understand that? Apparently not. He does not understand. This is gonna be a long ass episode. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I don't know. I'm just gonna put everything together, or I'm just gonna cut it up into different episodes. So, easing my grip, I stroked his cheek softly. Maybe it was just a situation that was making me brave. Maybe it was not knowing where things would stand by the end of the night. But I need him to know how I felt. How many times do I have to say it? What exactly do I have to do to get you to understand? I grabbed his scarf and yanked him down to my level. What the fuck? Pressing a kiss to his lips. A slightly awkward, hesitant kiss. But a kiss. A real one. My first one. Wow. Corvin, you got my first kiss. Technically. I'm just saying. I totally did not kiss like 4 other guys. Maybe I can't do math right now. 4 other guys before you. I released him and glared up at him, trying to not die of embarrassment. You're not allowed to get hurt anymore. You wanted to go on a real date, right? So focus, get this done properly, and stop worrying about me or her. We'll survive. So you have to as well. We're going to lure her out here. And if you have to use a black grimoire to get through this, then do it. Understood. Corvin was staring down at me, eyes wide and looking a little dazed. He just nodded. Okay. We need to do what has the highest chances of success for your sake, hers and mine. If that means I'm bait, then fine. If that means using the black or more, then do it. No arguments. We can't waste time, alright? Okay. Right, so where should I be? Alright, now I'm back. Hi bitches, I'm back. I reached for him, setting my hand on top of his head. He jumped at the sudden touch and looked up at me, shock written on his tear-streaked face. Ichigo! He looked tired, worn out. Sad. I tangled my fingers in his hair and pulled him into a hug. I'm back. Sorry it took so long. I hadn't exactly had a good sense of time while I was wherever I was. Well, I read this before, hello game, but I knew it hadn't been a while. Michiko. His voice was hoarse and shaking. I moved my hand through his hair, wondering at the softness. It really was stupidly silky, wasn't it? More than that, though, I could feel again. It was such a relief. So, in the previous one, I was feeling the comforter. This one, I'm feeling his hair. Corvin pulled away, clutching my shoulders as he stared down at me wide-eyed. How? I didn't even get a chance to answer. He crushed me to him, hugging me tightly again. Are you really back? Well, I mean, I'm talking to you. Or would be if you weren't trying to suffocate me in your scarf. He released me and stared down at me, an elated grin pasted on his face. How did you... what? I don't know exactly. I don't really remember a lot of what happened. Well, Rio shared some of it. She told me what happened after the fight with Kara. You two could communicate with each other. Not at first, but eventually we sort of could. Not so much in words, as pictures, dreams. I yelled at her a lot. Well, that does sound like you. It was kind of refreshing to finally be able to do that. Anyway, I'm not sure how I got back. There was a suddenly light in the darkness, and I could hear your voice, really softly at first. It sounds weird, but I just followed that sound and suddenly I was here. I swatted him on the forehead. And don't you dare quit school. You heard that? Faintly. I see. If you're worried about your work, you need to just fix your resolve, not isolate yourself. And if you're worried about not being able to withstand the miasma, then you need to get stronger. And don't ever say something like you're being tainted or something again. If you want to leave Pine Hollow, then I'll drag you out of here myself and take you somewhere you can do your work the way it was meant to be done. But don't just give up. And stop blaming yourself for what happened to me. I'm back now. So, I was abruptly cut off when Corvin leaned forward and kissed me. So cute! I wasn't finished talking yet, but I didn't push him away. I wrapped my arms around him tightly and pulled him closer. It was so gentle, so sweet, that it warmed me all the way down to my toes. Corvin finally pulled away and rested his forehead against mine. You just got back and you're already lecturing me. Because you're being dumb again. He laughed quietly and tightened his arm around me. I missed you so much. Ahem, so did we. I tried to let go of him, but Corvin held me even closer to set his chin on top of my head as he looked toward the door. I missed her more. I don't want to share her yet. That is so cute. Oh my god, this is so cute. Ellie and Spencer spilled into my room, practically dogpiled me at the same time, managing to shove Corvin off the bed. Oof, you're back. Oh my god, it worked. Allie, that was me. And yes, it seems so. Thank God. I couldn't even tell whose arms were where as Corvin joined in the group hug. I fled my arms slightly as someone else's covered my face and blocked my air supply. Well, whose hand is that? I pried the arm off my face and took a deep breath. Someone better pay attention to where their hand is and move it before I break it. I was just about to start hitting people when they all pulled away. I heard Corvin's sheepish laughter as he ducked for cover. Jeez, I just got back and you people are already trying to suffocate me. Someone folded me into another tight hug. It was Spencer. I'm sorry. Oh, that's so cute. I was gonna feel like, so is Spencer not gonna give me that one-time hug? I'm so sorry for everything. I feel like this was all my fault. We've been through this. I hugged him back fiercely, as if trying to make up for the last 5 years. He squeezed me tighter. Can I have her back now? This is really cute. This is way cute. I'm not some kind of weird trading card. I didn't even get a real hug yet at all. It's my turn. Stop trying to pass me around. Spencer let go of me and moved aside so Allie could hug me tightly. I'm so glad you're back. We were so worried. What happened with Kara? She's okay. She had to spend some time in the hospital. We positioned it as a concussion, but she's okay. I looked around my room at the drawings spread around on the floor and bed. What exactly were you doing in here? We weren't sure how to get you back either at first. Corvin came up with the idea of trying to gather up some of your old memories and things from when we were kids. Since we all grew up here together, we figured there would be some lurking around the places we used to hang out and in our old house. Merle thought that if we gathered enough, the two parts of your soul would sort of attract each other, like magnets. Since your body was also here, this side would have pulled more, have more pull. We couldn't find enough stray array, so Spencer thought maybe we could use your drawings. So you basically dragged me back by force, more or less. Well, that was kind of ingenious, I guess. And speaking of Spencer, so Spencer, you're okay with all of this? The past few days have been a bit weird, but after everything that's happened, I can't exactly not accept it. How many days has it been anyway? Well, it was basically really early on the 3rd when Rio went back, and today's the 6th. Where's Mom and Dad? Coming home tomorrow. He sighed. I can't believe all the things that were going on since the beginning of school. No wonder you were acting so weird, even though at the time I was still convinced you were some sort of imposter. I guess I was, in a way, so no one tried to erase your memories. Well, there was talk of it, but Spencer threw a royal fit worthy of you. He kind of went a bit Spencerzilla in the club room, and Violet decided that since he's really become a full-fledged sensitive in his own right, we should leave his memories intact. Well, what? A sensitive? How did that happen? Sometimes when humans are exposed to a lot of paranormal experiences, it can open up that side of their mind. It's not hugely uncommon. Besides, the two of you always could see fate, right? Wait, Spencer gets to develop abilities and I have to go back to being a normal human? That's not fair. I mean, I hadn't really been in love with everything that happened, but going back to being normal was just too sad to think about. It felt like all of this was a part of me now. Allie and Corvin shared a look. What? Remember, humans who spend a lot of time in fairy tend to go through some physical changes after a while. The constant exposure to so much energy that just changes you. Changes? So what exactly am I now? Not quite fairy, not quite human. Corvin wrapped his arm around me again. But I'll meet Chico, finally. I hugged him back, wondering when I should tell them that I was really hungry and craving coffee. I feel like this is where I'm supposed to start threatening you as her big brother. I glared at him over Corvin's shoulder. I'm actually older than you, I hope you realize. Oh yeah, I always forget that since you act like a kid all the time, not to mention how short you are. He smirked at me. It had been so long since I had seen that teasing smirk. I don't, and I'm not. I just got back and you people are all picking on me already. My stomach suddenly growled loudly. Spencer, let's go find something for Michiko to eat. I guess all that astral, what I don't know. Projection makes the girl hungry. You know, I'm not quite sure I approve of leaving those two alone. Look at how they're clinging to each other. Ugh, I already want to go back. It was so peaceful there. Allie grabbed Spencer's arm and started pulling him away. If you'll excuse us, Allie. I laughed as she bullied him into doing something she wanted. Exactly what she wanted, as always. As soon as we were alone, Corvin squeezed me even tighter. Thank God you're back. I don't know what I would have done if I'm back, so you don't have to worry about ifs. And you're not quitting school. Don't you dare even try. I will come to that cafe personally and drag you back to that stupid scarf. Buy that stupid scarf. Sorry. Corvin just laughed, and a few minutes later, Allie was calling us to go downstairs, and then began filming in on everything that had happened while I was gone. I leaned against the wall listening to the familiar refrain, November 8th. Kara and I returned to school the same day. She saw me in the hall and a brief look of confusion passed over her face, like she was trying to remember something but it wouldn't come to mind. It was a feeling I knew well. She had walked off without saying anything, but, well, we might never be friends again. But I hope that she didn't hate me anymore. This isn't my first time hearing Kara play. I opened my eyes and looked at him. It sounds different than before, lighter somehow. Well, what? I didn't want to return a dream that made her so unhappy. I think every child wants to make their parent happy, but in her case, it had become a pretty powerful source of pain. And it came after you because Kara blamed you for ruining that hope. But I may have given it a bit of a new purpose when I give it back to her. New purpose. You can do that? It might be a little bit against the rules, so don't tell anyone. So, you've definitely decided you're staying, right? Well, you told me I had to. Yes? And in the case I have to at least stay until spring. Why is that? He gave me his usual cheeky grin. I definitely want to see you in a fancy formal gown, and I want to finally get to take you on a proper date. I looked away, heat creeping into my cheeks. Is there something happening in spring? Like homecoming or something? I hope you're not planning to wait that long to take me on a date. I'm going to take you on a date every chance I get. Going forward. Every day. Well, that sounds terrifying. Hey, Michiko? Yes? He pulled me close. I really like you, you know? I smiled up at him. I know. Oh, so cute! Oh my god, this is so cute. This art, oh my god, I feel like this art just trumped everything. He kissed me again, his arm sliding tightly around my waist. One of my hands fluttered uncertainly to his cheek, his silky hair drifting softly between my fingers. I couldn't quite stop the faint smile as I held him close. It had been a pretty long and winding road, not to mention stupidly dramatic and dangerous. But finally, everything was exactly as it should be. Oh, that is cute. That is so cute. Okay. We didn't get these 2 CG arts. I don't know what the fuck they were. Probably some bad enemy bullshit. I don't know. But anyway, we are completely done with Corvin. I guess I'm not too mad that I didn't get the love, happy, perfect, passionate, whatever fucking ending over the friend zone ending. Because then we got a CG art of Corvin like this. So it's not too bad. Okay. So, we are now down to Ewan, who doesn't seem to have a lot of CG art, actually. Is he the least one? I think he has the least. Oh god. Does that mean his is extremely hard? I have no idea. But we are done with Corvin's route. I'm just gonna make this all one whole entire episode, so grab snacks. Hopefully you already grabbed your snack in the very beginning, because now it's at the end and I'm telling you to grab your snacks now. Anyway, now to do my ranking between all the guys who have already played so far. Mark. Honestly, the only thing I hate about playing this game is like I don't really remember anybody previously after I start a new route. Like, it's been a while since I remember their route, so I kind of just base it off of the CG art to see if it gives me some feels again. I still feel like a Mark has to be my number 1. I still feel like Mark's my number 1. Just because I feel like I had a lot of like silly emotions around his route. So Mark is still number 1. Corvin is definitely a close second. Just because he's very adorable. Corvin hands down, I believe. I haven't played Ewan's route yet. But I believe he's the most loyal guy. No, all of them are loyal. Most trustworthy guy. For sure, that trustworthy is the word I was looking for. Most trustworthy guy out of all the guys that I've previously played. Because he is there when you need him to be. He's always there. He's not like one step behind. I mean, sometimes he is. But he will be there. He's not delayed. Or he's not there at all. He is gonna be there. Which I feel like the other guys didn't have that power. I don't know how that Corvin had that power. Maybe he had the help from Finn the Crow. But Corvin hands down is most trustworthy out of all the guys. I haven't played Ewan's yet, so out of all the guys I played, he's the most trustworthy. It didn't beat Mark though. Mark is still my number 1 in my heart, but Corvin's number 2. Sadly, Elliot's still gonna be at my very not Elliot. William. William's still at the very bottom, and I feel really upset about that because I was really excited for William's route. But it's Mark, Corvin, Elliot, Danny, and William as my chart ranking. I'm really bummed out that William's last. I'm sorry, baby boy, but you're still great, okay? But in the next episode, we're gonna go for Ewan, Mr. Ewan, the very last guy. I cannot believe we're finally on the last contender. It's insane. I don't know if we're gonna finish this entirely in the month of November, but I'm sure Ewan's route will be done at least by December. Maybe, I don't know. Most likely, since this is an everyday thing. But definitely tell me, guys, your new updated chart. I know many of you really love Corvin's. Corvin's still probably your number 1, but Mark is still he's still number 1 for me. Corvin's a close second though. But thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Touch it,